Hey there everybody. Today I'm visiting a little town called Montbron here in the southwest of France, and it's tree-lined boulevard which brings you into town. And I'm right down here at the level of the river, and we are on a flat river plain here at the moment. And then, as you can see, the houses off to the left there are quite far down underneath the road. It's hard to say there whether the road has been raised in order to get out of the floodplain, or whether they had to dig it out at some stage. But anyway, as I approach town, we have to climb, and as we climb, this is where we're going to find the juice. So bear with me. So this is the tree-lined boulevard I was just showing you from the other direction, and those are the houses well below the level of the road, but above the level of the river. And this is the river Tardoir again, which flows through the region. And as we approach the town and approach the hill, we're beginning to see some strange things down here. So somebody built a beautiful house, and then along came waves of mud and covered everything, as you all well know. But the locals around here, they have no clue as to why their buildings are like this. Anyway, not to worry. As I get a little bit closer to town here, you start to see quite a lot more. And they build them up into it, and they're built down into it. Now let's take a little walk down probably a very little known side street, just to see what we can see. These places are, they're 300 or 400 years old. And this little walkway goes down to the river. But as we come up out of here, even on both sides of this house, we're quite a distance below the road. And then as we get closer, we begin to find our evidence, which is everywhere. Now, this little house here on the end has a history with me, which I'll get back to in a few moments. In the meantime, let me just carry on down here and have a little peek at these anomalies. Okay, now right across the road, what am I looking at? Can I climb that? I sure can. Now again, opinion coming out once more. There are structures built into this, but yet I don't see this now as being brickwork of any kind. No one in the right mind this century, last century, or 7-8 centuries ago are going to build a wall with this type of stonework. And this is like slate mud rock. And again, I'm going with the crest of a mudflood wave. I'm trying to make my way around here now, not get run over. And look at it. And it looks like they cut it to get down to road level, and then it drops even further as we get down here. Anyway, I'm going to pause here and continue around the corner. And as you can see, it continues all the way around the bend. And then I just noticed this built into it. can't say what it is, a well or whatever. We're at a, water's not seeping down in through the earth here, and we're still 50 feet above the ground further down that way. And again, this is not built rock. This is slate mud rock, mud flood crest of a wave. They are everywhere. And thanks to my new friend Lance Renard, I have been able to discover these things and point them out. Pause. So there's your river flood plain down below you. This is the road that I just come up. This crest still appears, and then it's walled here. But like the earth is really built up quite high behind it. Whoops. And then, as I approach the first few little houses, this one is definitely suspicious. The back of the house is a floor and a half lower than the front, and then you have to go down into it. Not the greatest of examples. This place is a little bit empty here. Probably could do with a new buyer who wants to live here with these idiots flying past in their diesel powered behemoths. But boy, this is, and then of course look what they had to do to retain the earth. Will it retain me if I step on it? It will, and more. And again, we're opposite this. Oh, what's this? Mudflood crest of a wave. And we got another little thing in there, whatever it might be. And I drive past these things at speed. I never see these things. But anyway, this little house here goes well down into the earth, and this mud flood crest goes all the way up to town, and then it gets built on as things start to level out. Pause. Yes, and these walls are walling in their gardens, so to speak. Sorry, the gardens are quite up high, but then there was an entrance of some sort through there at one point in time. Now, I'm going to have another little look here at this house here on the corner, and it doesn't look as old as those ones that I just passed. Whoops, can't hold this camera steady, but it's in the same condition. We've got 2 floors at the front and another floor down at the back, on quite an old wall. The old walls have been re-rendered. There's a nice place for sale. So it is, that's a beauty. Who wants to come and buy their own little mud flood mansion with castle turrets at the back? You have some fun there, yeah? Okay, I'm gonna pause again. And another entrance right there. You know, you just walk past these things, you just drive past these things. You know, you don't see them. You don't know what they were. But they were something. And again, we're back at this wall. And right opposite this wall on this side of the road. Whoa, you do not want to fall over the edge of that. They're everywhere, these precipices. Actually, drunken drivers in their little Renault dingos or whatever you call them end up in places like this here every weekend. Now, I said I was going to tell you a little story about this end house here before I continue now. I had a friend who came to work for me way back 20 years ago when I was restoring my farmhouse. And he worked really well, and he worked and he worked. And then one day he came to me and he said to me, you know, there is a house for sale in town for 10,000 francs. 10,000 francs at the time was about 1,000 pounds sterling. What are you talking in dollars? $1,200-1,300. And I bought it for him. And he paid me off with all the work that he did for me. But that's what happened. 20 years ago, you got to town here, they were handing houses away for $1,000. Now, right across the road from that house, there's this little street, which now I have to climb. I'm going to let the camera roll all the way up as I climb up. And we've got these little gems, these beautiful little ancient cottages. And we are approaching Chateau on the top of the hill. So this is one of the old routes up to the chateau. And these houses are, again, from the same era. You're talking 15th, 16th, 14th century. And you go down into them. And then they have cellars. And there is one up here with an enormous cellar that I've been inside, with arches inside the cellar. Oh, here's a couple of houses here. Yeah. What have we got here? Cottage for sale. 360-degree views. Number 5. Let's have a look inside number 5. Whoa. Number 5 is alive. With snakes and spiders and everything. Ain't going in there. Hold on a minute. What do we got here? Blackberries. I will have some blackberry for breakfast. Now, what else have we got here? Number 5. Number 4 ain't here anymore. A bit of a mess. Number 3 is wondering why its front door is where it is, and it don't know. That must be number 2. Even better views. And that must have been number 1. And this must be number 0. Oh, I eat my raspberry, not raspberry, blackberry. Delicious. Now where do we go here? And what do we have here? This end of the house up here is 10 or 15 feet higher than this end of the house here. Can't see over the gates, so I ain't gonna interfere in people's privacy. Now let's take a little walk up here. Wow, we are climbing. We are climbing. "15 feet, 20, 25, 30. So the front of the chateau is about 30 or 40 feet higher than the back. Now let me continue. Oh, and it goes down. Oops. You see anything in there? hard to see, but it goes down, and then at the back it goes down more. Ooh, this place, they say, let me show you this plaque here, if you can read it, with all the reflection that's on it. Some of it in English, 1472, 12th, 13th century. And it goes down. And what's here? Nothing. Knobbly old wall. So this is the type of thing that you are finding all around these small provincial towns with, you know, a good distance away from all the motorways, so not many people stop around here. So let's take a little peek around here at some of the streets. They're all mud flooded. Doesn't matter which one I walk down, but I just saw something that is of interest to you all. Not that you've seen all these things. Or that, whatever. But this house here on the corner, it's got a griffin carved into the wall. Yeah, and this house is just around the corner from the chateau. And there's quite a lot of strange anomalies around here. Yes, we will go back down this way. Oh, that cool breeze is so welcome. If any of you are wondering why I didn't get back to Angoulême to get the motor races, it was 36 degrees. I nearly fried there on day one. And with everything going wrong on me, I thought to myself, there's no way I'm going to go back. I can't go back on the Sunday. If you do want to see what the races were like, I'm sure you'll find them online. They were called the Circuit des Ramparts. Angoulême historic races. Now, I could walk down there and follow that house, but you can see it from there, even if the car is in the way. And the back of the chateau. Wonderful. Now, what else have we got here? Take a little walk around these corners. And whatever side of the house you see here, 2 stories, you go across the wall here and you've got 3 or 4 stories. Yeah. And they go down. Some absolute beauties here. Doesn't take a whole lot to do them up, you know. They're all so solid. They're big 4-foot thick walls. Just need a little bit of repair here and there. And then of course the roofs need repair. Now let's take a little walk up this way. See what we can find. And again, we're just built into a slope. And even the houses across the way, you can see, have all the evidence. Now, school kids. Woohoo! What have we got here? Try and stay out of the sun. Maison du Maître, as they would call it, the master's house, most likely, with his high walls and his turrets. And then we've got this little church-like building with a bell on it, and it is also showing signs. And this is showing signs. And we're at the top of the hill. And then this here is what they call the mairie, the mayor's offices. He didn't build that, I can tell you that for sure. Let's take a little peek down here. I just saw something. And then of course if you come along and you render these houses from the front, put in modern render on them, new doors, new windows, in many cases you can't tell whether they are old or new. I've just disturbed the wildlife. And again a little view of this turret and this absolutely beautiful house behind the walled garden. This is what you find. Yes, and these beautiful tree-lined squares are surrounded by the most beautiful little ornate cottages. I mean, they're just everywhere. And you know, what a beautiful little door. Someone has put to cover their mudflood window. And more, and we're at the top of the town here. The chateau would be a little bit below us. And then the crest of the wave just cuts. And it drops like a cliff to the floodplain of the river. And it goes back, it goes forward, it goes up. And there's our little griffin house. I'll pause now. And just here, just on the edge of the chateau, you've got this wall, modern wall, built upon, as you can see, something much older. Yeah. And back down at the bottom of the hill again here at this beautiful little gem of a house that I was looking at earlier on. And this strange rack with holes in it of all kinds and a river running through it. Wonderful. And another little view of this corner that I came around earlier on, and all of its semi-ruined buildings. Why don't they go and get themselves some, you know, lime and some sand and fix the place up slightly? Alright, let's continue. There's that little house again as I'm on my way back to the car. Now, we were here when this all happened. We bought it, fixed it up. But were we aware of mud flood or had the slightest clue? No. And now I've come to the other side of town. Not a very big town. Maybe 2,500, 3,000 inhabitants. And we're about 300 meters, I suppose, from the chateau I was showing you at the other side. And then when we get here, we've got this beautiful structure. Now, from a distance there a moment ago, I could see the spire at the back. I just keep backing away until I fall down through a Mudflood window somewhere. What? Hold on a second. Now, it's got something on the top of that spire. It's just a cross. It's like an antiquitic cross. Now, let's have a closer little look at this. Because again, we were on a high part of town. And just off to the left and to the right, we've got a few mudflood buildings. But, you know, let's take a closer look at this thing. And it has some age. Oh, look at this design. It goes around it. All around the front door. And again on the inside. Yeah. Let's take a peek inside. It gets dark. It gets dark. Oh, there's a cool breeze blowing through. That's good. Water font. Take a look at this. Whoa, what a ceiling. In a small provincial town. There's a knight. He's lost his right arm. And there's symbolism. Oh, they've got an organ. I did not know that. Their symbolism is, rather different than what you'd find in the more modern churches. They do tend to stick to the older, medieval, Gothic type decorations. This is my first time in here, and I have to say, I like it. Yeah. But again, like they've been going around crucifying people. Very nice. Very well built. And very well kept. And these pillars are really huge. Very strong. These doorways onto the left and to the right weren't for all these little short French people that live around here right now. And how far do I go? I'm not one really for... Who are this lot? Oh, it's the Last Supper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I thought there were 13 people in that picture. Now... what do you all think of this? A few cracks there. Need to be seen to. And again, I'm not so sure that they have a Sunday service here. Maybe one Sunday per month, or one Sunday in two. Could be every Sunday for all I know. But mostly weddings, christenings, funerals. Now, and who are all these chairs for? Yeah. And the stained glass windows have been replaced with something they dug up, looks like. Now there's a knight with a flag of some sort. It looks like Joan of Arc, actually. Well, who knows? But it's nice. If only they knew who, what, where, when, why, and how these buildings were built and for what purpose they were built. If you go along and you try to talk to these people now and you say that this here was not something that was built for collective religious practice, it was built for something else completely, and a gang of thieves came through, took it, robbed anything out of it that had any value in it, and turned it into a place where they pile you in on a Sunday and take your last few pennies off you. They just would not believe you. So, I think I'll keep my mouth shut. What's this? They might say it's a stone, but you know, stone doesn't deteriorate in this way and give off whitey powdery dust. You know? Whoa. I'll look upside here. And now I'm getting a little bit of a closer look at the spire. Very nice. And who's this? Probably some martyrs who they have giving some recognition to. And this has been here a while too. Oh, what have we got here? What's this? Pompeii victim? It's definitely an old carving of a person. Who knows? Right. And again, grass growing out of it up there. I mean, come on. Yeah. And more anomalous rocks. You could say have that volcanic look about them. Yeah. I'm sticking with Wise Up, and I'm going with ancient concrete. That's what makes most sense to me, looking at all these things. Oh, this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the grass growing out of the spire, man. And little mud flooded houses and buildings all around it. And now I can maybe get a shot from the shade here. Oh yeah, I mean it's like something you'd see in Russia, Moscow, St. Petersburg. I have to say that they really were excellent engineers. I'm going to cross the road and look at this place. Empty. Not even got a for sale sign on it. And again, like, I can't say that this is not Mudflood right here opposite the church. This is what I'm looking at. The parochial shop. And it goes down. And that goes down. They go down into the earth. There is a little side street there that I just passed, which I want to take a little bit of a walk down. I'll pause until I get there. This little street here, which begins with this beautiful house, this beautiful garden. Not sure what I'll find down here. Have not been down here before. In fact, I don't think I'm going to go any further. It's much more of the same. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Going to knock it on the head today. We're hitting 33 minutes. Really hope you enjoyed that. Better than my last videos where I messed up with my camera work. But nonetheless, hope you enjoy this. And please like, share and subscribe.